Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bias Podcast. I'm Madison,
I'm Sydney, and welcome back,
and
guys.
yeah. So today we have a main topic that I think we'll get into a little bit later in the podcast. But I think we just want to do a little catch up first, chit chat with each other, and see what's been going on. So, how have you been, Sid?
I've been good, been pretty busy. So I've been really tired, but that brings me to a funny topic because Maddie has been irked with me the past couple days because we have a 1 hour time difference between where I live and where she lives. So I'm an hour ahead of her. I'm on Eastern time. And Maddie stays up really late. She has a bad sleep schedule, and I used to also have a really bad sleep schedule. So Maddie would text me funny TikToks or tweets at I don't know what time, like 1 a.m. or something,
Yeah.
12, something like that. And I would always respond because I would be awake. But because I've been so busy, I'm exhausted. So last night is a perfect example. I literally go to bed at 10:30, at the latest now, and wake up at 8 a.m. So Maddie will send me texts at 11 and I won't answer, and she'll be like, "Why are you not answering my texts?"
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And now I'm at the point where it's like, last night I stayed up late. I think I texted you at like 2, and I was like, I totally know she's not gonna answer me, but I was like, I just need to text her this. So, and I was like, and she's totally gonna make fun of me for being up at 2 a.m., but whatever.
No, that is one thing though. I don't make fun of you really
Yeah, no.
for being up late. I mean, I kind of do, but also I'm more just happy for myself that
Yeah.
I am no
I mean,
longer.
I wish I could go to sleep early. It's just like, my body likes to stay awake at night. It really does.
I know I am really like that too. It took conditioning me to try and go to sleep, and now it's easier, but some days it's easier than others. Some days I'll be like, I just can't fall asleep, but I'm like, I just need to sit in bed until I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, it's like sometimes like our parents or grandparents will be like, you guys need to go to bed earlier. But it's like with my schedule that I have right now, going to bed at what time I do and waking up at what time I do is not affecting anything. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I'm tired, but I'm just always going to be tired for the rest of my life. Like, I am
yeah.
never going to be able to like not have a day where I'm not tired. So like, if I want to go to bed at 2 a.m. and wake up at 12 and it's not affecting like my schoolwork or anything or my schedule, I should be able to.
No, I agree with that. I
Thank
don't
you.
understand the whole. I don't know. I guess I do because it's you should get a good amount of sleep because sleep's important for your health. I understand that side.
Hmm.
But also them being like, you should really go to bed. It's like, well, if I'm not tired, I can be doing other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing isn't productive, but yes, I
But
agree.
not even that. It's just if I'm just gonna sit in bed awake anyway, I might as well
Yeah,
do something I want to
be on
do.
my
I don't
phone.
know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I just prefer the nighttime as well. I like the vibes at night.
Yeah.
But then some days I do appreciate a good morning. It just depends. But
Yeah.
something about night is nice. We've talked about this before, but we get bursts of energy at 8 or 9 p.m. and then it carries us. That's our peak. We're yes.
Yeah.
Especially
I wake
in the
up at
summer and
8.
stuff too,
Yeah.
when we don't have a real schedule, we are bouncing off the walls. That's when we get
Yeah.
rushes of inspiration and we're let's make a movie or
Yeah. Let's start a podcast.
yeah. That's when we have our let's watch an entire season of a TV show right now.
Yeah. But it's
So,
always the best time, so.
yeah, but what
Okay, so
about
we have.
you?
Oh, I guess, yeah,
Oh,
I should talk about my week. What have I been doing? I think I've just fallen deeper into the K-pop hole, but that's okay. I am officially accepting it. Today is also, they were filming this, is 2222, which is pretty cool.
oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
realize that.
you gotta manifest
22,
everything today.
22. True, true.
I've
What are you
recently
manifesting?
become this is it actually. I've recently become into Wordle, and I'm manifesting that because it got bought by the New York Times, it doesn't have to become a paid game because I really like Wordle and I don't want it to have to pay for it. Did you see that?
I didn't actually, but I'm really glad that you just said that because I didn't ever really think about Wordle potentially becoming a paid game, but like that makes total sense that they would like monetize it. I don't know why I just like didn't think of it, but
Well,
no,
it's
that
because
is fantastic.
the guy who created Wordle, just created it for like his wife or something. I don't know if you heard this story, but like his wife loves word games, and he just created it for her, and it's like a really cute story, and he's awesome. And so like I'm happy for him that he sold it to New York Times because he obviously got good money for it, and like good for him. You know, he seems like a nice guy. But it's also like just with like New York Times is definitely gonna want to make you pay for it, and they literally said in the article they're like for now it'll be available to all players, but like it's like okay, so in the future it won't be, you know what I mean? But what else?
Oh, that's so cute. I did not know that at all.
No, yeah, it's really cute. And
Wow.
his last name is like John Word something. Like it has the word Wordle almost in it, and like that's where he got it from.
I love Wordle because it's like Sudoku for like
Mm-hmm.
letters. And I like it because part of it is luck, but part of it is also
Yeah.
just knowing like how phonetics work and like
Mm-hmm.
knowing like when vowels need to be in certain places and like based on certain consonants, like what vowels like frequently show up in that. I mean, it's like guessing patterns, but I don't know. I really, I really enjoy it. You killed
Yeah,
it
me
today. I saw
too.
your Wordle score.
I was really good today. I got really lucky on my first word. Also,
Oh
I
yeah.
love the new surge of Wordles. So like there was a
For
Taylor
other
Swift
categories.
Wordle, there's a
Yeah.
BTS Wordle I did today. Like that's really fun.
I tried the
I'm
BTS
enjoying
Wordle
those
the
as
other day and
well.
it was so hard.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil the answer for today because I don't think that many people care. And this won't get released today, so it won't matter. But the word today, are you gonna do it? Should I not tell you?
No, it's fine.
Okay, the word today was literally Usher. And it's because they're like fans of Usher
Oh,
and there's been some memes about it. But like, how am I supposed to get Usher? First of all,
well, they
that's
have
a
a
hard
lyric about
word.
Usher in what's it called?
Yeah, I know, but like, first of all, it's a hard word. And then, I mean, I actually did got it. I got on my second guess. But I was like, I was not thinking of Usher when I was thinking of BTS stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's really cute though because everyone always just starts off with their first word as Jimin, like everything. It's like it's so funny because it's like it's probably not gonna be Jimin because that's so obvious, but everyone just starts off with it anyways,
It's
which
also
I find
not a
very
great
cute.
word to start because
No,
the
it's not.
probability
There's
of
two
there being a
eyes.
there's two eyes and the probability which are the only vowels and then
Yeah.
there's not a high likelihood that there's going to be a J in the word.
Well, even if it is, four other or three other of them have J's in their names. You know what I mean? It's like if it's
Yeah.
their names, that doesn't help at all.
No, that's
So
so
yeah,
true.
so I have been recently into Wordle, which has been fun. We also, I got like mom into it and stuff, and our older sister plays. So we all like send our Wordles of the day in the group chat and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah,
You know
dad's
who's
the only one
really
that
good at it?
mom.
Well, mom is really good at it, but Leah's really good at it. She always gets three or less, like guesses. Like I'm actually shocked by how good she's at. Good she is
I'm
at it.
I'm generally like
Yeah, you're
a
not
3 or
bad.
4. But the other day there was like one that it was 5, and it was like because there were so many first letter possibilities
That's
that it
the
was like you just have to guess.
worst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
the other
hate
day when the
that.
word was light, I guessed like fight and then night, and then I finally
It's
got light,
almost
and I
like
was
you
like,
have to do a separate word with a ton of consonants in it to find out which one it is
yeah,
to
yeah.
cancel
There's
it
some
out.
strategy to it for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
But yeah, it's definitely fun.
It
All
is.
right. So we have a question today. I guess Cindy saw a TikTok about this, but she also has been thinking about this for her whole life. And she sent it to me, and I was like, and she sent me her answer, and I was like, no, no, no. I'm not gonna listen to the rest of this voice memo he sent me. I was like, because we're gonna discuss this on the podcast because I think this is an excellent question, and I think it'll really learn about a lot about us. So we both thought about our answers. It's kind of hard to pick an answer, but yeah.
Can I just say something real quick? I don't know if there's like any siblings who can relate, or even like best friends, but Maddie and I love to communicate via voice memo. This is just a
It's
side
the
note before we get
best.
into the thing. Does anyone else with their sibling, like, basically, like 90% of the time communicate through voice memo? Um, because I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of people that do it, but like no one really talks about the fact that they do it. And I'm just
Yeah.
curious to know if people do it because I like the element of talking on the phone, but like sometimes you like can't just like randomly call them and be like, "Hey, here's this
Yeah.
random thing, bye." So I like that element of voice memo, and I like that you can get like the vocal tone, which you like can't
Mm-hmm.
get through text. But anyway,
The
that
only
was a
thing
total side
is,
note.
real quick about
Oh,
that, is there's like a
mhm.
level of like how close you are to the person to you can do it. You know what I mean? Because like you're not about to go and call your new friend and like voice memo her. You know what I mean? Like I only do it to like a few people.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's interesting. That's why I wanted to know if like other siblings do it or
Yeah.
if it's like something you just do with like your best friend. Like what's the level of familiarity
Yeah.
between the people that you do it with? Because I think that would be interesting
Yeah.
just for.
Okay. Now into the question. So me and Sydney are, I mean, I think the whole world is, as you should be at least, are big fans of the Parent Trap movie.
The
And
Lindsay Lohan version,
yes, yes, yes,
not the
yes.
like
Thank you for
OG
the
one.
clarification. No. And the question is, which Parent Trap parent would you want to live with?
Okay.
So I think you can go first.
I have like a very long winded answer though, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll still go first.
Okay.
Let me just preface this by saying The Parent Trap, the Lindsay Lohan movie, is probably in like if I could
Top
only pick
10.
5 movies to watch for the rest of my life, like I think it would be in the top 5. Like I
Yeah,
love
I
that movie.
agree.
I love the soundtrack. I love like the soundtrack is so good. I
This
love
will
like Chessie
be
and Martin.
an everlasting
Okay, we're not singers. I love everything about it. So that's just a total
hmm
thing. So I've been thinking about this question for the better part of my life. And then I saw this TikTok and felt like extremely validated. I was like, wow, someone else has the same internal debate as me.
hmm
But here's my thing. I get so torn. Like let me like go through like the pros and cons in my mind. Okay? So you have the dad.
No, I
So
think we're gonna have the same exact answer now.
You have Nick Parker who
hmm
lives in on a vineyard in Napa Valley.
Yeah,
And let me just
beautiful.
first say it's my like to live on a vineyard is like a dream of mine. Like even if you
hmm
don't like wine, you can't deny like horseback riding, like going on hikes, like the nature vibe. Like it's just so beautiful
Yeah,
and amazing. And also the thing that really gets me about Napa Valley and like living with the dad is the fact that this is such a small detail, but I am obsessed. And you can probably attest to this. But for the better part of my life, I've always said I want a house that has ivy on the front of the house. Like I want a
mm,
house that has like ivy like cascading down the house. And ever since I saw that picture in the movie of The Parent Trap where it's like him in front of the house and it's like the ivy trickling down, I was literally like, "Oh my gosh, I am obsessed with this house."
hmm
But my thing is also is like for as much as I want that vibe so bad, I also can't deny the fact that living with the mom would be so cool because it's like one, you're in London, which is like
London,
you're
I
already
know.
not in the US. So like you're already
hmm
international. And basically the mom in this movie is like Princess Diana, like basically. Like
Yeah,
bringing like she is like a bridal designer. She lives in a gorgeous London townhouse with like the most like elegant vibes. Like you get to wear like custom blazers and like live your best, like European life. Eat like
yeah,
croissants every morning. But then it's also like you have to weigh the other factors too, like Martin and Chessie. Like how could I ever
yeah.
pick between Martin and Chessie?
I know.
So
That's the
I kind
hardest
of
part.
I kind of give a cop out to this answer. I'm like, I want to be when they're back together and they transition from home to home at the end of the movie.
Mm,
But that's a cop
hmm
out answer So it's like I don't know if I really can do that. So I think if I had to pick, I don't know.
Okay, do you want me to give you my reasoning first?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I agree with you. I love the dad's like just house and stuff, and I love Chessie like so much. Like she's just so cool, you know? And
Hmm.
so my original thing would be, oh, I'd easily go with the dad, 100%. But the question is when they're separated. So you know how you want to cheat the system, but I can't do that
Hmm.
because when they're separated, he is technically dating. I don't actually know her name. What's her name?
Meredith Blake.
Meredith, yes. And I can't stand her. So that would be like a con for me, honestly. But with the mom, she's like not dating anyone or anything. And I also like to like the city vibes a little more. And so I would like to be like in London. So I think final answer, the mom. But I do love the dad. The dad would be like for me a vacation home. You know what I mean? But like the
I
London would be like I live there frequently. You know what I mean? I just said
I
you know what I
like
mean
that.
like 20 times.
Yeah.
If Jessie like could come with me.
I think if Meredith wasn't in the picture, I
Hmm.
would choose the dad.
Yeah.
But that's actually funny because in this TikTok too, I didn't mention this to you. The person who made it said, I also have a theory that best friends are the two different
Too
ones. That
different.
there's not a best friend pairing that would pick the same one. So that's interesting if
Hmm.
you would pick the mom and I would pick the dad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that really, but
Yeah, I
I do
mean,
think that is
who cares?
interesting.
Yeah.
But
But
it's like the
honestly, just give me
toughest.
both.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
really is the
saying. Like,
toughest question.
let me just go, transition,
I'll
jet
split
set.
half the year, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. Like summers in one, school year in the other.
Yeah. Which
All
one would you
good.
rather spend the school year in? Probably London. Because summer in the vineyard would just be amazing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how hot it gets in Northern
Yeah, it could be
California.
hot.
I don't, this is like total amateur hour, but I don't know when is peak wine season because I'd want to spend peak grape season at the vineyard.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do like middle school all in London, high school all in the US, and so then you're like switching the seasons that you spend. Or you could just do
Hmm.
online school, COVID.
Did they ever pick, like, once they got back together, which house they're staying at? And it's a weird question.
No, they talk about it though when he like shows up at her house at the end and she's
Hmm.
like, "So what are we going to do? Like me living in London, you living whatever." And she's like raising our girls across the ocean or something and I think he's
Hmm.
just like, "We'll figure it out."
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, they're both like extremely rich. If they wanted to,
Rich.
they could just
Yeah.
afford it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Do you
I
think they
don't think.
kept Chessie and Martin?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
Yeah.
Jesse and Martin are getting married, so they probably like
Yeah.
travel with them and stuff if they go places, if they need them.
I love that. Wait, actually, this is also a good factor that I just thought about, and I can't remember. Do either of them have pets? I think they do, right? The dad has a
Yeah,
dog.
Hallie has a dog, which is the
Yeah.
the one that lives with the dad.
But the other one doesn't. They don't have a pet, right?
Mm-mm.
I think that would also further me choose the mom. Because I hate
Yeah,
dogs
I
and I
think they
hate
have a golden
pets.
retriever though, and I love
Yeah.
golden retrievers. Like that would be like my ideal
Yeah.
dog.
Because the dog,
So
like, hates Meredith too, right? Or the Meredith
yeah,
hates the dog, at least. Yeah.
yeah, that's so funny.
I forgot about that, but that's another key point we cannot
Yeah, Maddie's
dismiss.
not the biggest animal person, or it's not that you're not a big animal person. You just like they kind of scare you. Ever since you were little, they scared you.
Well, they scare me, but also I don't see the point to them.
Okay, we're gonna get some haters now on this
Literally
podcast. Everyone's gonna
everyone
attack
hates me
you.
because of this.
Yeah.
Everyone hates me because of it. But you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna speak my truth, and that's that.
I mean, I get not everyone likes animals. Like, I totally get that.
I mean,
But
it's not like I'm gonna be rude to an animal when I see it. You know what I mean?
okay, yeah,
I'm just
good.
not gonna
Let's
pet
clarify.
it.
Yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
I think that is acceptable. I
Thank
just
you.
don't want to convey that you're some like
No. No, I don't
animal.
kick animals or anything.
Yeah. No, I get that. Okay, well, I'm glad that we were able to unpack this. I feel like I kind of knew what
Actually,
you were gonna say.
I actually liked that we had different answers.
Me too. I didn't even really think about the Meredith Blake situation, which did kind of dampen my mood a little bit. But if
Yeah.
she wasn't involved, if we just gave her, if he was like a single dad, I would be like,
Yeah.
yes. Like before camp, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
before camp,
Before
yeah.
they got
When she
together
moved
when he was
in,
at
yeah,
camp.
yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure.
Okay, well, the main topic for this week's episode is something I don't think we've even talked about at all, even on last episode or anything. But
No,
it is Twitch. Sydney and I are nerds, and
we're just
we love
exposing
watching.
ourselves.
No, yeah, this is really just like everything about us that we don't like to mention on the podcast. I mean, we love it actually. I can't even say we don't love it. But yeah, we love watching Twitch streamers and watching streams just in general. I mean, we love the occasional YouTube streamers. Don't get us wrong, don't hate on us. But yeah, mainly Twitch streamers and stuff and just watching video games. And it's got us into video games. I got my first PC and I'm starting to play Valorant and stuff. And yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure most people like know what Twitch is, but in case you don't know what
Yeah.
Twitch is, it's just like it's a live streaming platform where you can just like live stream like all kinds of content, but like it's predominantly a gaming space. But there are other things like
Hmm.
you can go on and just like chat with like
Hmm.
your community and stuff or like hang out or like whatever, but most people use it to stream like esports or other gaming things, that sort of thing. But yeah, Maddie
Okay,
got
I have a
started
first
on Twitch.
question.
Okay.
When did you first hear about Twitch? Like, was it through me?
Um,
Because I can't even think about the first time I know what got me into it, but I don't know if I
when
knew
did
what Twitch was before that.
when did you first start watching Twitch? Just like the year or the time?
It was, this is a funny moment actually. It was right during the 7-day presidential election in 2020.
So, no, it had to have been before then,
Mm-mm.
because that would have been November. November
Wait,
2020 was the
maybe,
election. No, it
when
was
did Among
before
Us come
that.
out? That's when I got into
29.
my Minecraft boys at least. Because I literally have a Snapchat of me being, this is the day I first watched my first Minecraft stream.
I don't know, but I think because
Look it up real quick.
that depends on my answer when you found it. Because I either found Twitch, about Twitch from you, which I think I did regardless, and you being like, I'm watching these Minecrafters, and then, or it was from Broadway Jackbox, which was a thing that Andrew Barth Feldman did during the beginning of quarantine time in 2019, I think.
Okay, so Among Us randomly blew
Or
up
2020,
in
actually. I take that back. 2020.
September 2020-ish. So I think it kind of was around that time. But I do think you're right because I think I don't know when, but I also remember more now. Broadway Jackbox definitely got me into it, and so did one of this drag queen that I love, Bob the Drag Queen. He used to stream video games, and he used to watch his streams. And the only two people I followed were Bob and Broadway Jackbox.
Okay, so it had to have been Broadway Jackbox then.
Yeah, that's really crazy. Because I remember I had to set up a Twitch account to watch Broadway Jackbox, and that's when I found out about it. But I still like didn't really know much about what it was.
Yeah. No, that was when I found out about it too, because they streamed it on Tiltify and Twitch, and
Mm-hmm.
then you were like, you should go watch it on Twitch. It's like easier to like type in the chat and like you can like
Yeah.
talk to them and stuff. So then I
Mm-hmm.
remember I created a Twitch account just to watch that. And
Yeah.
then I kind of didn't really do anything with it. Broadway Jackbox, just a quick aside, was this thing that a bunch of Broadway stars did to raise money for the Actors Fund during quarantine to help
Mm-hmm.
people who didn't have jobs because of the pandemic who work in the arts field. And we used
It
to
was
like watch it.
great.
They'd like play games on and like entertain, and you could like donate money and stuff, and it was really fun. But I watched Broadway Jackbox on Twitch, and then after it kind of died down, I didn't rewatch anything until like the Among Us, like when Among Us became popular on Twitch, when Alexandria Ocasio Cortez streamed with
Mm.
everyone. That's like what really like made me stay in the Twitch thing. Like I
Okay.
forgot about it and then I like came back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, so for what, at least what I remember is I think I might have watched a few Among Us streams. I think I also knew Corpse Husband a lot, and then I was like, oh, this is Saikuno, and I learned kind of like the main Among Us streamers, and I just watched them a little though. It wasn't anything like crazy. And then I got a TikTok about these Minecraft YouTubers, and I was like, oh, and I looked them up and they streamed on Twitch, and I was like, oh, they seem cool, and I got really into the Minecraft world. But at the same time, I was still in my Among Us era, and it was when like the Minecrafters started playing Among Us now, and it just became this whole group. You know what I mean? Like everyone played Among Us together, and it was so fun to watch like these people interact, and it was great because it was like we were all at home during quarantine. You know what I mean? You were doing nothing, but you got to hang out with like 10 of these people, even though you weren't hanging out with them, you know what I mean? But it felt like you were, and it was like so fun to just watch them play this dumb game, but like it was amazing. Like Among Us is honestly like one of the best things that has ever happened, I feel like.
I mean definitely in terms of Twitch, I think Among Us really
But also just
catapulted.
even with the pandemic, like we played it with our friends, you know what I mean? And it like made us like still talk to our friends during the pandemic, you know?
Yeah, it was fun. It was like a fun game that you could like play in your Zoom rooms
Yeah.
and like stay engaged and stuff. Because I mean, it's basically just like Mafia in a video
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
So
it is.
it's no, it's definitely a good time. And I think Among Us too, like really put Twitch on the map because it
Yeah, it
became such a
did.
viral game that all people wanted to do was like watch other people play Among Us who were like really
Hmm.
good. And so that like really opened up the world of people like to continue to watch like live streaming games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I think that
100%.
was pretty interesting. But
And then
what oh,
I just want
go ahead.
to continue our journey of how we got into Twitch to where we are now, real quick.
Okay.
So, Among Us era happened. It was amazing, and then I really got into my Dream SMP era. I watched all the lore streams. Like, it's kind of a very niche thing. If you know what I'm talking about, you 100% know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's like so confusing. But I watched all the lore streams. I loved it. I didn't miss a stream. I literally did not miss a stream. I would get no sleep. And I was so obsessed with them. I was into that. And then Among Us was kind of dying down. And then the Minecraft YouTubers, I feel like really got like drained out, and they had like no more content left because they were overworking themselves so much. And so they like stopped streaming, and I was like, who do I watch? And so I kind of went back to my like few Among Us streamers, and I've just found out what games they were playing, and I had to just teach myself the game that they were playing and be like, I have to like this now because I'm bored and I don't have anything else to do, you know? So I got
Hmm.
really into Valorant, and that was like that set me off. Like Valorant is totally my favorite game, and I'm definitely a big fan of like offline TV and all their friends and watching them play Valorant. And then that got me into the pro Valorant scene, and now we love esports and the esports Valorant teams, and like it's just so great. So that's basically kind of where we are now. But now I'll watch any game. I've recently been watching a couple GTA streams, League streams. Just chatting is always great too. But yeah, any of that stuff is my jam.
Yeah, I definitely think. because I was gonna ask earlier, I was gonna say like, what's the kind of content that like we consume now? Because like we're obviously like not
Hmm.
watching Among Us streams like on the daily anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
definitely like Valorant's our number one game for sure,
Hmm.
and it's very enjoyable. It's a fun game. It's very fast paced, which is good, and it's fun too when like streamers that you like play like with their friends, and so you can watch like
Yeah.
all of them play together, and like you can get everyone's like POV on their own stream and stuff, which
Hmm.
is super fun. So yeah, I remember though you definitely had like a bigger time on Twitch than I did like prior to getting to Valorant. Like I
Yeah.
kind of like took a lull after Among Us died down and like watched like some people, but nothing like super crazy. Like you really went through your Minecraft phase and like I didn't do that. I
Yeah.
kind of died down and then you just like kept talking about Valorant and I was like, what is this game
I
that
made
she
Sydney watch the Iceland what was it? What were they
Reykjavik
called? Yeah, but
Reykjavik final
Masters,
VCC
Masters
Masters
final,
Masters
VCT
yeah.
Masters. And we literally I was talking about it all week and it was the final Sentinels versus Fnatic and I was like I have to watch Shroud's stream on the TV. Like I have to watch his stream on the TV. I was so excited for this game. And I had Cindy out there with me. She like had a ton of snacks for me and like I think what really got her into the game because I was like this is Tens and like Tens is on this team on a loan because like there's this guy who's like really bad, like we don't talk about him, but he's on the team and he's fucking great at this game and like the team is just so good. But it was also like I was low-key starting my Fnatic fan page. So I was like, but I love Boaster and I was like, so like I don't know who to root for, but I was like obviously NA all the way and like it was just so good. I like forced Cindy to watch this game and she was like, okay, I get the hype now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was literally in like the middle of summer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
watch this. Like, of course, the first like Valorant game I watch is like one a pro Valorant game. So like these are professional esports guys on like
Yeah.
pro teams competing at an international level, and they're like insanely cracked. Like they're so good and
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the final and I'm just like, this is my first intro into what Valorant is. And I'm literally like, I cannot comprehend anything that was
I know.
happening.
There's
I was
so
like
much going
watching this
on.
game. I was watching this game and like Maddie was trying to like commentate for me. And luckily we were like watching commentators too. But I was still like, I have no idea. And Maddie was like, yeah, to be fair, like this isn't the easiest way to learn the game watching pro players.
No.
Like you kind of need to watch like people who aren't as good so you can like understand it at first.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, it's probably a fair point. But then like I immediately got like sucked in after that. I was like, this is
Yeah.
awesome. I
I do
became
think
like
it's fairly
obsessed. You know.
easy to learn. Like for me, learning to play League is so hard. Like I don't understand how to play the game to this day, and I've watched thousands of League streams. But Valorant, I can easily. I think it's pretty easy to pick up like what the game is. You know?
Yeah, well, I think it's, I mean, there's strategy obviously, but I think it's like less a strategy based game. Like it's very much like, I mean, it is strategy. Like I don't want to
The
like
hardest
discredit that. But
part is just util, like the abilities the
yeah,
characters have for sure.
yeah. But I don't know. It's, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Oh, I remember. But after I watched the final with you, I really started like my Valorant journey and like was like
Mm-hmm.
watching all these people and that's when I really started the tens agenda. Um
Mm-hmm.
which was like I became like the biggest ten simp like on the planet. It was like embarrassing. And then
As you
I
should.
like and then I because he was just so good and he's just like the most wholesome like
Yeah,
kid.
he's so
And then
nice.
I became obsessed like through him with his girlfriend who like is a recent streamer who like plays Valorant and like now I'm like just like mainly obsessed with her and I like it because she's obviously not a pro player like she's a very like
Yeah.
I don't want to like whatever but she's like average she's like good
I
but
do
she's
have to
not
say
like
she's gotten so much better than when I first started watching her. Like she's like
oh I
what,
know
plat diamond 3 now or something? Around then?
I think she's like plat 3
Yeah, that's very she's gotten so much better. I honestly think
no
she is diamond.
she is good and like it's cool because you've like got to see her like improve and stuff So that's definitely a fun part of Twitch too, is like watching your like streamers like get really good at a game and you're like, oh my gosh, like you get to see the progress too. It's almost like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah. I just want you kind of mentioned your one of the favorite streamers that you have, so we should probably talk about the classics, our OGs and our faves that we always tune in for the streams or will watch the VODs for. Do you want to go first?
yeah, I'll go. My my current favorite streamer at the moment is someone different
I
from who
know.
it was over the past couple of months. It's definitely like evolved. I think
Yeah,
a lot of times you go through phases with streamers where you're like really obsessed with
100%.
them and then you're like, okay, I kind of need a little bit of a breather. Like it's getting a little repetitive. I need to like mix it up. And like you still always
Hmm.
like them, but you like will try and frequent other content. So I'm really obsessed with her name is Foosley. Her real name is Leslie, but Foosley's her streamer name. And she's like a variety streamer, so she streams a bunch of different things. She does Valorant. She does all these other things, but recently she's been doing a lot of GTA. And I think she is one of the funniest people on the planet. She makes me laugh
Hmm.
so hard. Like she's like one of those unintentionally funny people. And so I could watch her like skip rocks on a lake and like be entertained. Like she
Yeah.
can just make everything entertaining. And like GTA, like she's like role playing in it, so she's like really invested in this character she's created. And so it just always makes me laugh every single time because I
I
just feel like
actually
I'm watching
want
like a
to.
cartoon.
Yeah, I agree. I watched Leslie for like Among Us and stuff, but I was really watching her a lot when she first started GTA because she was so nervous about it and stuff. And I was there for like the stream where she created her character April and like she went around for the city for the first time. Like I remember all that. And then I remember like sometimes when she would get into drama and she's like, I hate GTA, like I hate, and she was like cry about it and all the stuff. And then now she's at the point I like kind of stopped watching her journey because I was like I felt like with GTA you had to watch every stream to understand like the story. So in the beginning I watched every stream, but then I just couldn't do that. But now I think I'm at the point where like you don't have to watch every stream to understand the character's story and like what they're up to, you know what I mean? So I like tuned into her stream like yesterday or even the day before that, and I was like, it's crazy to see how much she's changed from when she first started playing GTA. Like her character, she's so much like she's hilarious now. Not that she wasn't funny in the beginning, but she knows like who April is. Like it's so good. I was like crying laughing, but I was also like so like it's so cool to see her be like so much better at roleplay and like she loves it now. Like loves GTA. She'll play like 12 hours of GTA just because like she wants to. You know what I mean? Like it's so fun.
Yeah. And then besides Leslie, I have obviously like my core Valorant streamers. So Kaide, who's tens that I mentioned before, his girlfriend. Um, Quarter Jade, who is like was one of Maddie's like OG Valorant streamers, and then I watch her boyfriend too sometimes, Masayoshi. Um, and then like kind of their whole friend group. So there's like this group of people called like Offline TV, which are like a content group, and like all their friends sort of thing. So I kind of frequent in that friend group area. I don't want to like list them all out, but you can
Hmm.
look it up if you're definitely interested in good, fun content streaming.
Yeah, 100%.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm definitely a Quarter Jade fan. She has my Prime sub, mainly because her VODs are sub only, and I don't want to watch ads on her channel. Yes, I love her. I have her merch also, which is cool. I also love John. John's like, I always watch John's stream. Like, I never miss the VOD or anything. Like, I always caught up on John's stream and stuff. And I love being in John's Discord. It's so fun, like, being in his Discord. I love Leslie. Who have I been watching recently? Oh, there's this streamer. I love Janet. She's also part of Offline TV. Her name's X
Yeah.
Choco Bars. She always cracks me up, and I loved watching her in the Among Us days. I thought she was really fun in Among Us. But someone who I was watching this morning was actually his name is Steve Septic. He got like pretty viral-ish during the Among Us days because there was like a morning Among Us group which it was kind of a more sweaty, like try hard group than to have fun, but they also really had fun. And it was like not the same people every day, but roughly the same group of people. And it had like Janet in it and Steve, and like they were just so funny, and I always watched them. But today I went back and Steve was streaming Mario Kart with Janet and a couple people from that group, and it was really fun. I was like crying, laughing, like it was really fun to watch that again. So definitely Steve. Also, Steve has really good music. I like love his music. It's like the perfect summer vibe music, and I need him to release more music. Um, but also, I've been watching a lot of Pokimane recently. She is also an offline TV. She's gotten in a little controversies recently, so it's been fun. Not fun, it sucks for her, but like interesting to keep up with that. I also have started, and I know you have started, and you're gonna kick yourself when you didn't mention this person,
I
I
know,
feel
I
like.
know who it is.
But actually, I haven't started. I've watched her for a bit now. But Cutie Cinderella is one of my favorite streamers, and I actually love her YouTube videos. Like her vlogs are really fun too to watch. She is Ludwig's boyfriend. I mean
Girlfriend.
girlfriend. I'm sorry. And Ludwig's a pretty big streamer. He actually just moved to YouTube, so I don't watch him at all, which is kind of depressing. But sorry, Lud. I watch Cutie now. She is so good at putting on events and like doing things with a ton of streamers. She did this thing a couple months ago called Shit Camp, and it had like basically I would say the top 10 streamers, but also like a couple like not as well-known streamers but that are really good friends with them, and they did this like a ton of games. They streamed on everyone's channels. It was so fun and it was so funny, and like I loved watching that the whole time. And now she's about to put on an event, streamer awards, and I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be so good. Like I know she's gonna kill it. So I'm excited to watch that. But yeah, mainly just offline TV. I also watch a couple people who live in Austin, like Mizkif, Slick, Super, all those people, S-Fan, Nick Ballum. I like Hassan, obviously. I always tune into Hassan every once in a while. But yeah, those are like the main guys. Also, I love like Shazam. He's a really good Valorant player. He's on Sentinels. Yeah, I love everyone.
Yeah. Just
I follow
every
so
single
many
person.
people on Twitch, like so many people.
Yeah, you
But yeah,
do. No, I
it's
love Cutie
fun.
too. I know you
Yeah.
like mentioned her, but I like Cutie. Like I like she calls it like cozy content, and I think that's 100% what it
Mhm.
is. She makes like really cozy content. Like she used to be a pastry chef, so she does a lot of like bake along streams that are like super fun and like good to just like throw on in the background if you like want something to watch. So I
You know
really
what's really cool that she used to do, and I don't think she does it anymore, but I loved it. This is what really got me into her. Is she did these things called Taylor Tuesdays, and so she'd play chess because she's really good at chess actually, and she would listen to Taylor Swift like music, and so like every day, every Tuesday, she'd pick an album, and she'd sit there and she'd like teach her community about Taylor Swift and stuff, and she's like, I'm forcing you to like her, and she's like, she would introduce the song every time. She's like, okay, so this song's like really about like blah blah blah, and then like she'd play the song and she'd like sing along to it while playing her chess game. Like it was just so comfy and cozy, and like I loved it, and it was like perfect. Like I just that was like one thing that I loved about Cutie.
yeah, she's great. I have a question for
Mhm.
you about Twitch that it might
Mhm.
it's kind of a big topic, so we don't have to like completely cover it, but it was just something I'm really curious about your
Mhm.
opinion. How do you feel? I don't know the best way to word this, but what do you think about this idea that like Twitch farms like parasocial relationships?
Mhm.
And like
Mhm.
what do you think I don't know, I guess like what is your thought on like people setting boundaries between like being a form of entertainment and like also still like fostering a community of like people that like watch them and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think like obviously Ludwig has like a funny, strong opinion on this. That he's like, I'm obviously not your friend, and there's that whole meme about that. And I, I don't know. I go back and forth because it's also kind of I feel like goes into like stan culture, and it's like you have to like tell people like we're not friends, you don't know me, I don't know you type of thing. And like you, like if people, like let's say your stans are doing not bad things, but like harassing someone or something, like you have to tell them to stop, and like you have to like be not in charge, but like be responsible of your community and stuff. So I totally agree with that. But also, I mean, at some point, it's like I feel like streamers don't realize that they are doing it, but they like you do create a relationship with them. So it's like there is a sense of like I we do have a relationship in my head, you know what I mean? But like I also know you're not my friend. I don't know you in real life. I don't know half your life story. Like you only show me what you want to show me, and so like I think that's good. I also think it is hard with Twitch, is because some of these streamers stream like 8 hours a day, and it's like that's your whole day is basically online, and I'm watching it. You know what I mean? So like I do know a lot about you more than like let's say a musician or something. Like I don't know everything about you. But so it's like I think it's definitely harder with Twitch, and like sometimes some streamers have smaller communities and stuff, so it's you like they do know stuff about like people in your community and like viewers, so you can feel like you have a parasocial relationship. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care. I probably have parasocial relationships with streamers, and I like don't even realize it. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just don't care. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I feel like it really only becomes a problem when people like behave in ways that are inappropriate under the
Yeah.
guise of being like, but I know you, or like
Yeah.
I it's like, yes, you know a side of a person, and like you know their mannerisms, you know what games they like to play, like you might know like their favorite color, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
But also, like, at the end of the day, like if you saw that person in public, you wouldn't like go up to them and like hug
Yeah.
them randomly and like act like they're your best friend all of a sudden, because you might know it's I think it's important to recognize like it's one-sided. Like yes, they see
Yeah.
your name in chat, but like they don't know what you look like, they don't know who you are, they don't know where you're from, they don't know anything about you. You just
Hmm.
know everything that they tell you about them. So I don't know. I think yeah, it only really becomes an issue when one party is becomes like inappropriate.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's tough too because I don't know how to describe it. It's like they, as streamers, like they do have like a responsibility over their community,
Hmm.
but it's also, I don't know, I feel like it's a weird relationship. It's like they're almost like the authority figure, but they're also like kind of like your friend that you like hang out with. So it like
Yeah.
presents like conflicting messages. I don't know. I don't really know how to like word what I'm saying, but I just think I feel like Twitch parasocial relationships are different from those of like big celebrities.
Yeah. I agree.
And I just think that that's a little interesting and like maybe something like people need to unpack a little bit, you know?
I remember when I was really into like my Minecraft stuff, there was always drama, and I think there still is with this creator Dream, and he has a really big fan base, like a really big, and a lot of them are like on Twitter and their stands or whatever. I also don't necessarily know half the time what the difference is between a fan and a stan, because at this point I really feel like there isn't much. I just feel like a stan you're on Twitter and a fan you're not. Like that's not what I put it in my head. So like I don't also know, because like some people like on Twitch hate stands, but it's like those are the people paying your bills. So at some point you have to be like, I like you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird to me, because there was a whole thing of Dream says that, oh, I love my stands and I love my fans because they like support me and they like are the reason I have a career, you know what I mean? But he also has a ton of people who hate him, and a lot of people think that those are his fans too, and like, or not people that hate him, people that just hate others. And so people think that they're his fan, but like he's like they're not. And he actually has been like told multiple times, he's like, you need to keep your community in chart, like in check, basically. Like you like don't have control over them, which is actually I feel like very wrong. or like not wrong, but like I think like he does. Like he tells his people, like his fans and stuff all the time to like not do certain things and like tells them off a lot of times. But also at the same time he like will tell them like, yeah, like I love you guys like created me all this stuff. But I think a lot of people just like don't see him telling them off, and so they just don't agree. And it's also like once you have such a big fan group, you can't physically control what everyone's going to do, you know what I mean? Like there are just inevitably going to be people who that send hate to other people. Like that's just how the world works. He literally can't control all these people to not do that, you know what I mean? So it's like he's doing the best he can, at least in my opinion. I mean, sure, he's like probably done, he cheated at his speed run, like oh my god, I'm so sorry, but like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets really unnecessary hate.
I think you can simultaneously be like, I appreciate this community for like supporting me and like giving me a platform, but also be like, that's not an acceptable way to like behave to other people, especially when like your community is defending you against other people and that defense is through like a form of harassment or something of someone
Yeah.
else. Then that's like, that's when it becomes like inappropriate. It's like, okay, yes, you can be like, I believe this person, but it shouldn't be to where you go to such extreme lengths to defend this person that at the end of the day, like you don't
You
really
don't
know.
know. Yeah. I agree. I
So
think not that we're talking about this right now, but this is the thing, like definitely with K-pop groups and stuff, like that
yeah,
definitely is a problem, but we'll talk about that on another day.
another podcast. Don't worry.
Yeah, a whole nother episode about that. I just quickly want to touch on two more things and then we'll go into our biases for the week because I know we're kind of running out of time.
Okay.
But real quick, what do you think about emote culture? Because I love emotes. I have 7TV, I have BTTV, I have Franker for Z. Like I have every extension to possibly have emotes, and I love emotes, and I love an emote chat. I love Masiosi's chat. I love the bigger streamers Mizkif, XQC's chats, and I kind of hate wordy chats, but I think you kind of like them, and I think it's like, what's your ideal Twitch chat? I'll ask that question. Whose chat is your
Um,
favorite?
mm, Probably Leslie's. I like a mix of
Mm.
emotes and like typed responses to things. I
Do you
also
use
think it
7TV?
depends. Yeah,
Mm.
I like 7TV. I also think it
Me
depends
too.
on what game you're playing. Because
Yeah.
if you're watching a GTA stream, I like some emotes, but I do like people to like react to like the funny things that are happening, like or comment on that.
Mm.
But if I'm watching like Valorant, I don't need a ton of text because
I
I'm watching for
think
the gameplay.
I for I like just chatting streams, I want a ton of emotes. Like I want you to kick W at my joke or whatever, you know? And like I want them to do that because then it's if they don't, it's awkward. And then like I think the only time I would like some I don't know, I feel like if it's a just chatting streamer like Mizkif, you need like the emotes, like you need them to come. But if you're
Yeah.
like Quarter Jade or someone where you like are talking about necessarily like like not serious things, but like more educated topics, I feel like you may want like responses and stuff, like not just emotes. So I see that, but other than that, I would really just rather it be emote chat all the way.
No, because I like in just chatting, like, yes, like throw a keck W, like if someone makes a funny joke, but then also like ask questions or like, especially in a just
Yeah.
chatting, like I like there to be some communication between the people, not just like keck W, you
I feel
know?
like most of the time when that happens, the like conversations will happen in like sub messages or like donations or
Hmm.
something, which I
Yeah,
like
I
a little
guess.
better. I mean, it just depends. I like a flashy chat that's moving constantly rather than like a slow paragraphy chat.
Yeah, I don't want paragraphs. I like
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Okay, and then my other question, real quick, is esports. Now, we are obviously very Valorant heavy on the esports. There's obviously like League and CSGO and Apex, Rocket League, Fortnite, whatever. But we're heavy on the Valorant side. The last VCT qualifiers just finished. The new ones, round two, starts like this week, I think. I think tomorrow, actually. Um, qualifiers for champions will be happening soon. Who are you rooting for, real quick?
I mean, obviously Sentinels, because they're, as we mentioned, they're my day ones. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's been a lot of roster changes.
Yeah.
Um, Not even just in the North American teams, but internationally as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of just excited to see like new players that I haven't heard of sort of come up, and just kind of, especially too, there's new agents in the Valorant game, so I'm excited to see like new lineups that teams are doing and just see how they change and adapt to, like the new meta of the game and stuff. So it's mainly less of one team, but more so just how all the new factors are going to play out. I'm excited to see.
Yeah. I'm obviously really excited for like Sentinel. The four teams that have already qualified, I'm really excited for them just because I really like those teams, which are Sentinels, Envy, 100 Thieves, and Cloud9. I think they're obviously the T1 teams, and they're just really great to watch, so I'm excited to watch them. And then for some new teams that have just qualified or like I want to qualify, I really or this team has qualified, but I really liked watching NRG. I love their content creation team. Like I love Asu and Flex Ninja and Ethos. So I hadn't really gotten into their esports team, but then there's this player Som who is like just so good at this video game, and he's really funny. He's like a really funny streamer, and so I really love him. And I've watched a ton of their games the last qualifiers, and they're really good. I think they just got a new IGL. He Hazed. He came from TSM, I'm pretty sure. But he I think like completed the team, and like they're looking so good right now, and I'm really excited to watch them. I'm also excited obviously for Rise. I think they're really good. I love Shanks and I want to see them qualify. And obviously I'm a TSM girl at heart, so I want them to qualify. Please God, qualify. But yes. So yeah, I think that's who I'm mainly all of NA basically. I literally just said like every team possible, but yes. And then for our EU teams, obviously Fnatic and Team Liquid, like they're my babies, and Gambit, like they're getting close. So I want to see them do well. But yeah, I'm excited for
Yeah.
Masters and all the new competitions coming up. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Well, we're sorry if some of these topics were a little niche, but we
Yeah,
definitely recommend checking out Valorant and Twitch on the whole if you're unfamiliar and looking
100%.
for like if you're bored and looking for something to do. It's a fun way
Mhm.
to kill time, and
Yeah,
it's like the new wave of entertainment, I feel like.
100%. I agree.
So,
Yeah, it's great.
all right. So I guess we should move into our final segment, which is our What's Your Bias segment, where we ask each other what our biases of the week are. So, something that we've recently been obsessed with, or preoccupied with, or just something that's been at the forefront of our week. So,
Mhm.
Maddie, what has been your bias this week?
Okay, I thought long and hard about this. I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options written down because
I
I
have not thought about mine.
I
So,
didn't know which one I wanted to pick, and I think not that I'm gonna pick the worst one, but I think I'm gonna pick the least fun one. Oh, that
uh,
sounds mean, actually, because it's a person. It's not the least fun one. It just is the one that's like, what's your bias? And I'm picking a person. Like, it's you'll see once I name it. I think it's my actual bias in Stray Kids, which is why it's like kind of dumb, but like I'm sorry. This man has been ruling my whole week. Like how can I physically not pick him? So his name's Soonmin. I really like him. I don't even know how old he is. I think he's like 22, 23. Um he is like, okay, you know how you have Taeyang, who like I like picture you two like being the same person, you know what I mean?
yeah.
He is that with me. Like, obviously, Jungkook is my old bias because I just old BTS and like I love them and I love Jungkook. Don't get me wrong, but he's the one who's like out of all my biases, who's like he's me. You know what I mean? Like he
Mhm.
loves K dramas like so much. Like this man is obsessed with them, and he literally always like posts on their like communication app with their friends like, "Oh my god, I just finished this K drama episode. Like, guys, what do I do?" And like he like is very like he's quiet when he wants to be, which I think is very me. But also like when he does talk, he always has something good to say. This is me just busting my bubble or whatever. And like he always like is really like just has the perfect things to say all the time, and I just also he used to not, or he didn't debut as the main vocalist in the group because the main vocalist left. Anyway, we're not talking about that. But so then he basically like had to step up to be the main vocalist, and he was so like nervous about it. But like everyone else in the group, like they told him multiple times, they were like, "We were never worried about you. Like we just like knew you would do it, you know." And so he like practiced so hard. He went to so many music lessons. Like he like really like worked double time to like become a better singer. And now I think he's like such a good singer and like is so good at like what he does now. And I'm like just fully obsessed and in love with this man. Like my whole camera roll is literally pictures of him right now. It's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
That's so funny.
But yes, Suman, I love you.
Solid.
Okay. Sydney, what is your bias of the week?
Um, my bias of the week. I mean, I'm always obsessed with K-pop, so I'm not gonna say that because that's basically what you said. But
Mm-hmm.
I started this show. I think I kind of told you about this. It came out 2 weeks ago, so there's 2 episodes out because they come out Monday nights, and it's called The Gilded Age. It's on HBO Max, and it I think it's made by the creators who made Downton Abbey, but it's basically about like the Gilded Age in the United States in New York, and it's kind of it feels Downton Abbey, but it's almost like gossip girly, but not really in the sense where it's like about like high society drama and like the drama between like the old wave of New York City high society and like the new wave of like people that
Mm-hmm.
are like coming in and like, you know, changing the way things used to be. And so it's kind of this like power struggle, but there's like a little bit of like drama and romance in this like period piece, and I'm a sucker for a period piece. So there's only two episodes right now. I mean, they haven't been like amazing, but it's been nice to kind of have a new show that I liked, and I have watched them. So I would say that
Nice.
that would probably be, I don't know if it's really a bias of the week, but it's something that I've been doing weekly. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
going to count it
Yeah. Nice.
as that. Okay, so do you have any last minute thoughts, feelings?
I don't think so. I think we mainly covered everything I wanted to talk about.
Good. All right. So, thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Um, we think we've come up with a schedule. So, our tentative plan, obviously this didn't happen this week because we were just really busy, but we hope going forward that we're going to try and record our podcast on Sundays and hopefully have it up either late Sunday night or Monday afternoon. So,
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, we should hopefully see you again on Monday if all
Yep.
goes according to plan. So, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see
Mm-hmm.
you next time.
Bye.